Is today the day? Can the Marlins wrap up a postseason berth tonight? Second of a three-game series, Marlins and Pirates here in Pittsburgh. Just another late-inning comeback. Another one-run win for the Marlins last night as they took the opener and they enter play with a magic number of 1. Inside the broadcast booth, Paul Severino and Rod Allen. So the Marlins are on the brink, Rod, but you have to stay in the moment.
Absolutely, and the clubhouse is in the moment. I strolled through there today, and everybody was in a terrific mood, lots of smiles. Everybody's still getting their work done, but they also know what's at stake, and they're hoping at the end of this day they can do some celebrating.
Well, let's give you some Saturday scenarios here for the Marlins. The easy part is this: win and you're in. Right now, the Marlins are a game and a half up on the Cubs and Reds. The, again, easy part is win and you're in if you're the Marlins. There is a way that they can celebrate tonight if the Cubs and Reds both lose. So it's a Marlins win or a Cubs-Reds loss. They both have to lose. Keep that in mind. But the bottom line is the Marlins just want to take care of business here tonight.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. They got Shagwar starting the contest today. I don't know who's going to come after him, but the pitching has been really, really good lately. They've been tested as well, but they feel better now because they can see the finish line, and you can smell that finish line. You get a little bit more energy.
Absolutely. There's a lot of energy last night, especially late. It's kind of been the case for the Marlins all season long. Let's go back to Thursday, and this was in New York. It took until the 9th inning, but they got something going with Brian De La Cruz, and then the rally started. Marlins ended up tying the game and going ahead.
You know, they've done this a bunch this season. That's one of the reasons why their heartbeat is so slow in the later innings. Jazz really hadn't done a whole lot in the series, but that's a 3-2 pitch against a left-hander, smoked off the gate, left field. He drove in a run, and then Gurriel. Talking about a slow heartbeat. They were joking with him today how many bottles of champagne he popped in Houston. It was quite comical, but the team is playing like their manager played the game and like their manager is managing the game.
And then 8th inning last night, again, a early arrival, really, Friday morning. Maybe a tired bunch, but they are never out of it. 4 runs on 5 hits in the 8th inning last night to go from down 3-0 to up 4-3, and a huge pinch hit. You want to know where the energy came from? Might have been that hit from Arise.
Well, just to see Arise take that at-bat last night, knowing that he's not quite healthy. Great at-bat by Soler as well. Bell tried to hit one over the Clemente wall, got himself a hustling double. And how about Bell and Berger on the corners of the infield? They've been awfully special since we acquired them on August 1st, and that's a big, big RBI by Jazz Chisholm there too. But what we didn't show you, what happened in the 3rd inning when the bases were loaded for them. Key Brian Hayes hit a ball at Berger that went down in that corner. It would have been 3 runs, but Berger stopped it.
Yeah, look at the bottom line there. Really what that means is the Marlins score in bunches, and that's exactly what they've done these last couple of days to erase deficits, to take leads, and ultimately to win some baseball games. They have also relied a lot on their bullpen, and they'll do that tonight. Rod mentioned JT Shagwar to start the game. This bullpen has been used a lot, more so than just about any other bullpen in the National League. And last night, everyone stepped up.
They were stellar, and it was really good to see Okert go out and really pitch a good frame because he had pitched well in New York as well. He struck the side out over there. Shagwar, he's crisscrossing these sinkers at about 97 miles an hour and a 2-seam fastball in the strike zone. He also did a marvelous job. Robertson has really, really stepped up along with Braziman. Braziman got the win last night in last night's contest. Then you have Robertson coming in with a clean inning, and then you have the game being finished off by Tanner Scott, who's back fresh off of having his first son delivered by his wife.
4 or more innings in the last 7 completed games for the Marlins. So yes, they have been used an awful lot out of that bullpen in the month of September, more so than just about anybody else. Maybe the Pittsburgh Pirates. And the Marlins would like to get into that bullpen today, and they would love a laugher. Again, they control their own destiny. 1 more win for the Marlins, and they head back to the postseason for the first time since 2020, and for the first time in a full year since 2003. That's what's at stake. We're glad you're with us here on a Saturday night. These fish refuse to flounder, kids. It has been a really fun summer. How is it going to end? Maybe it ends in a good way tonight, at least in the regular season. Magic number 1. Lineups at first pitch coming up next. Here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, it's the middle game of a 3-game series. The Marlins and the Pirates. Let's take a look at the Ocean Bank batting order for the Marlins tonight. Jorge Soler to lead things off, then Bell, Berger, Jazz, De La Cruz, Sanchez, Birdie, Hampson, and Stallings to round out the order. A huge comeback win for the Marlins last night. The other games that we're keeping an eye on, they will get underway in about 40-45 minutes from now, so we'll keep you posted on that, as the Marlins have to deal with Quinn Priester tonight. This will be his 8th start, a high ERA in limited action, but all in all, one of the more promising arms for the Pirates going forward. That's down the line and fair into the corner, and a nice start for the Marlins as Soler rumbles into second base with a leadoff double.
And something the Marlins really have not done a whole lot on this current road trip. They haven't really scored a lot of runs early, but it looks like they're positioning themselves for a first inning run here in the first frame. It's a hanging breaking ball, and Soler smokes the ball down the left field line, and by the time it's corralled in left field by Reynolds, he is standing on second base.
What you love to see, a nice quick start. You got that game's first run over there at second base for Josh Bell, who had a big hit last night, big 2-run double. Takes one upstairs. Part of that 4-run 8th inning for Miami to erase the 3-0 deficit and to take the 4-3 lead, ultimately win the game by that same score. Foul ball right in front of home plate, and it's 1-1.
And one of the things that you must do if you're Soler, and I know he's doing that because he's a veteran player, you have to make sure you know where the infielders are playing. The shortstop, Peguero, playing directly behind him. So a ball hit to his right where you normally wouldn't go to third base, you can go to third base today.
One on the way to Bell, and he grounds one right side. And is there going to be a play at first? No. Base hit.
And I challenge that.
Right now it's a hit, and it's first and third. See if Derek Shelton and the Pirates in the replay room on their end want to play. They will not challenge.
And Marlins off to a real nice start. Another hanging breaking ball. And I've told you that Bell is rare. For a guy that's big and strong and physical like he is, and most lefties love the ball down, he likes the ball up in the strike zone. Look at him hustling. You know he's getting every inch out of the energy that he has today because you know that leg is still bothering him. I don't think these guys feel it till once the game starts.
I don't think so. I don't think so. And if it goes right, they may not feel it for a couple days either. That went up and in on Berger. Good spot here for the Marlins, first and third, and nobody out. You'd love some early runs. Marlins obviously have that bullpen day coming today with Jaguar starting. We don't know who the bulk guy will be, or if it'll be kind of a Johnny Holstaff. This one flipped into shallow center and caught by Nick Gonzalez. So one away.
And let's take a look at the scouting report on Priester. He's got a big arm. His fastball will go anywhere from 95 all the way up to 98 miles an hour. That qualifies in an electric arm. He does give up quite a few hits, and he walks a lot of people. Therefore, he's given up a lot of runs. 39 earned runs given up this year by Priester in just 44 innings. My goodness, that's a run an inning almost.
It is. Marlins hoping for a little bit more of that today, too. It's Jazz with first and third, and spins out of the way of that one.
And shortstop Peguero playing Jazz directly up the middle. He's got a lot of room on the left side of the infield if he just wants to poke one in that direction and get that easy RBI. You see that big hole on the left side of the infield. Shortstop almost playing up the middle.
Jazz with a couple of big hits, or at-bats, I should say, in the last couple of days. Of course, the RBI double in New York in the 9th inning, and then scored a run. And last night with the sac fly that ultimately gave the Marlins that 4th run that they needed. Bounces that one foul. Josh Bell, by the way, the only Marlin in the lineup tonight that has seen Priester. So the rest of the Marlins, that was of course with the Guardians earlier this year. The rest of the Marlins getting their first look at the Pirates righty, who deals a 1-2. And Jazz grounds one right on the bag, coming home with it, and they say it is foul. It was Triolo just to the foul side of first base fielding that ball.
good call by the home plate umpire until the ball approaches first base, until it goes past the bag. The home plate umpire has the call. You can see he makes the call, not the first base umpire. Once it gets past the bag, then it's the first baseman's call. First base umpire's call, excuse me.
First base umpire today, Nick Lentz. Chad Fairchild, the crew chief, behind home plate today. 1-2. And Jazz takes away. Rest of that umpiring crew, Jeremy Rehak over at second base, and Charlie Ramos is at third tonight on a beautiful night in Pittsburgh.
Isn't it, though? Just gorgeous.
Lovely weather, especially compared to what we dealt with in New York. Taken outside, and the count is full.
Another win here tonight, and that New York trip will seem like it was about 2 years ago. It'll be in the rear view mirror.
That's right. And we do not know, by the way, still have not gotten clarification from the league yet as to whether or not the Marlins would need to finish that game in New York on Monday when it's scheduled, but more on that a little bit later.
Jazz has got to do whatever it takes here to put the ball in play. As deep as the infielders are playing, now they're not going to turn two, so he just has to put it in play, and they'll get a run.
Ground ball through for a base hit. Soler scores, and Jazz comes through with an RBI, and the Marlins get that all-important first run. 1-0 here in the first.
Well, we told you that Priester, he gives up lots of runs, and his whip is over 1.5, so he's dealing with quite a few base runners every single inning that he's out there. He is constantly in the stretch. Nice job here by Jazz, just putting it in play. And when you put the ball in play with 2 strikes, good things happen for you.
Jazz fired up. Get him going, and it will look out now.
Somebody may as well take over for a ride and slap John Jay in the chest.
On the outside corner to Brian De La Cruz. That's a big one there for Jazz. It's a big one for the Marlins as well. De La Cruz last night 1 for 4. Waves and misses at that slider. 0-2.
He throws his slider about 23% of the time. He loves his sinker. He loves his four-seam fastball. We told you that Priester's got a pretty big arm. He'll touch 97, 98 before he leaves this contest. But he's got some real nice tilt with his curveball and also his slider. Also a changeup occasionally, mostly to left-handers.
Number 5 prospect in the Pirates system at the beginning of the season. Number 60 overall, according to MLB Pipeline.
Yeah, you can tell, man, he's got a good arm.
Ground ball towards short. 1. And a low throw, but 2. Marlins do get a run in the first inning. 1-0 here in Pittsburgh. By the Florida Lottery, which has generated over $43 billion for Florida students and schools. And by Baptist Health, welcome to the warmer side of care. That Marlins fan came all the way from Miami to watch them clinch. It's been great to see the support for the Marlins here on this road trip. A lot of fans in New York staying late through the rain the other night, everything else. Love to see it happen here tonight. We'll take a look at the Pirates batting order tonight. Brought to you by Ocean Bank. Jared Triolo leads it off. Then Brian Reynolds, Brian Hayes, and Jack Sawinski. Henry Davis, Andy Rodriguez, and Leover Peguero hitting 7th. Jiwan Bay and Nick Gonzalez to round out the order. For the Marlins, again, it will be an opener, perhaps a full-on bullpen game, meaning a lot of different arms coming through, but JT Shagwal will be the first, and this makes his 5th start and his 46th game.
They saw him last night as well, and they know that he's got that really good sinker at about 96 to 97. He also crisscrosses that with a really nice slider. He does his best work when he's working at the bottom of the strike zone, although every now and then he will elevate a four-seam fastball up at the top of the zone.
First pitch to Triolo is inside at 95 miles an hour. First baseman tonight for the Pirates. 1 for 4 last night with a strikeout, also had a double. Good start to his big league career. Average right around 300. Just a little bit inside. So 2-0.
He's really had a nice month of September. We told you last night, if you were with us, that he kind of changed his stance a little bit, not picking that leg up as much as he used to, that front leg. Just a simple pick up and put it back down, and that gives you an opportunity to recognize pitches.
Kind of like that. Base hit right field. Sanchez gets it in, and a leadoff man aboard for Pittsburgh.
And while we have a moment, let's set the Marlins defensive alignment here. De La Cruz in left, Chisholm in center, Sanchez, he's over in right, Berger, Hampson, Birdie, Vale round out the infield, and Jacob Stallings, the former Pirate, the catcher here today.
Here's Brian Reynolds, left fielder again for Pittsburgh. And fastball inside part of the plate. Marlins trying to hammer him with those inside fastballs last night. Got him on strikes a couple of times, part of an 0 for 4 night.
And take a look at the splits of Reynolds here. A lot more homers batting left-handed, just 5 batting right-handed, but the batting average a little bit higher when you turn him around to the other side. Something we'll watch for here today and tomorrow.
That's in the dirt, blocked by Stallings. So 2 balls and a strike.
And a lot of managers love to have that left-handed batter that bats second, especially when there's a runner on first base, because the first baseman has to hold him on. He creates a hole for that left-handed batter should he try to shoot one that direction. It usually creates lots of first and third situations. Let's hope this is a ground ball right at Birdie.
96, Jaguar with the high velo today. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First inning run for the Marlins on a night in which they can win and clinch. They can get a little help too if it doesn't go their way in the win column tonight, but they would need 2 things to happen. They would need both the Reds and Cubs to lose. Reds in St. Louis, Cubs in Milwaukee. But both of those things would have to happen. Marlins would like to take care of it all by themselves. 2-2. Did not go, and inside to run the count full.
And Trioli has 6 steals this year, and the 3-2 count more than likely. And Derek Shelton, the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, will give him a head start over there and try to stay out of a double play. We'll see.
Not going. On a ground ball toward Berger.
We get double play.
Underhand flip. They'll only get the 1. Just the way the Marlins kind of had that defense working. It was a ground ball toward the shortstop area, but it was Berger, the third baseman, and the underhand flip to Hampson, probably knowing it's going to be hard to turn 2.
Yeah, you're better off just getting 1. The sure one. Keep that runner out of scoring position. You got to keep Reynolds close at first base. Don't let him steal second.
First pitch to keep Brian Hayes is outside for ball 1. Well, Reynolds grounding into 13 double plays. Next on that list is Hayes. So it could be a good spot, as Okert already up and warming in the Marlins bullpen.
If you weren't with us last night, Hayes had probably the biggest at bat of the game for them. And Berger made a really nice play with the bases loaded. The ball looked like it was headed into the left field corner, but Berger was able to catch it and throw him out at first. And they only scored 1 run in that inning, or else it might have cleared the bases.
Yeah, I heard Derek Shelton talking about that before the game today, just how crucial that play was. This one a ground ball toward Berger. 1 is all they will get. So a couple of soft ground balls, and hard to turn double plays on.
And Jaguar really controlling the exit velocity of the barrels of the bats here in the very first frame against the Pirates. Doing a real nice job getting the ground ball, but not necessarily balls hit hard enough to turn 2. And that's going to be it for him.
Lefty Sawinski coming up. Okert coming in. Skip Schumacher making the first of what could be a few changes tonight. Marlins a 1-0 lead, bottom of the first inning here as they make the first Florida lottery call to the bullpen here at PNC Park. 1-0. Be a few pitching changes for the Marlins tonight. Here is what's at stake. Marlins own the tiebreaker out of everybody on the list here, at least the ones that they are most concerned with. Diamondbacks, they are tied in the loss column. Get to seeding later, but right now Marlins can win and get in. We'll also keep an eye on the Cubs and Brewers. That's a 7:10 first pitch in Milwaukee, and the Reds and Cardinals a 7:15 first pitch in St. Louis. Diamondbacks play about an hour from now. They play the Houston Astros. So again, not really worried about the seeding just yet. Could go into Monday. We're not even going to get there. Let's just get the Marlins to the postseason first.
I believe Justin Verlander's pitching for the Houston Astros today too. So Dusty Baker's bunch, they need wins just like we do.
Yeah. D-backs have had a tough time scoring runs, so we'll watch and see how it all shakes out today. But most important, the Marlins can do it all themselves and not worry about the scoreboard tonight. Stephen Okert facing Jack Sawinski here. 1 ball and no strikes.
And when you have a bullpen day and you have all the pieces and lefties and righties that Skip Schumacher has at his disposal in that bullpen, he can really mix and match. And what I mean by that is every time that Sawinski comes up today, he could very well see a left-handed pitcher, because you have the luxury of doing that.
Right. And everybody, according to Skip, is available tonight. When asked if there was going to be a bulk guy at some point, all he said was yes, with a smile as if to say, but I'm not telling you.
Skip is funny, though, how you know this, too. If you catch him, in the corner, they give you all the information you need. We just can't tell you everything.
He's been great. And Mel Stottlemyre Jr. has been at the helm of his pitching staff for a few years now, and what a wonderful job he has done.
You catch him on a good day, too. He'll talk your ear off. I love him.
Yep. And this is one of those days where he's got a million different combinations and permutations going game plan wise to figure out how to get 27 outs out of that pitching staff. Just inside, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And more than likely, Okert will throw a slider on this 3-2 pitch. It's not that he doesn't have confidence in the fastball, but he just feels like he can throw the slider anytime he wants to for a strike.
Payoff pitch, runner goes, and that one is fouled away.
That slider had a lot of plate, though. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, you have to throw a strike. Slider, 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 slider.
See where he goes with the 7th pitch of the at-bat. Again, runner on the move. And a line drive into left field and down for a base hit. Even with the runner Hayes going, did not get further than second base. And Sawinski, who's hitting about .320 since the early part of the month.
That's a good at-bat by Sawinski. We had just showed you that he had thrown him 7 straight sliders. So your natural tendency as a hitter is to look for a slider in that very next pitch. But Sawinski wasn't doing that. He was still looking for his fastball, and that's the only reason why he was able to put that ball in play successfully.
Now the righty Henry Davis, DH for Pittsburgh. 0 for 4 last night, couple of strikeouts. Swings and misses over the slider there from Okert, 0-1. 7 home runs in his rookie campaign. Debuted back in June. His first career home run against these Marlins. 5 for 18 with a double in that home run against Marlins pitchers so far in the season series.
And that home run came against Andrew Nardi. So his name will forever be remembered in the Davis household. Probably got a ball on a mantle somewhere with Nardi's name on it and the exact date that he hit the homer.
And video evidence to go along with it. Home run at Lone Depot Park.
Nardi hadn't given up many homers. He's been sensational.
That's when they were doing the swashbuckler celebration. Tipped and then into the dirt. So Davis stays alive.
I believe Okert has thrown 11 pitches, and 10 of them have been sliders.
We'll see where he goes on 1 and 2. With Hayes at second, Sawinski at first, and Stallings will pass along some signs.
And for those of you that don't know what he's doing, basically he's telling the infielders what he'll do with the baseball if the base runners try to steal, where he will throw it or whether he will throw it at all.
One-two from Okert. In the air out towards shallow right field. Sanchez camped underneath it and makes the catch. Pirates leave a couple. Marlins lead by 1. An inning in the books. Welcome back. Suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic caps, t-shirts, collectibles, and more. Gear up with your Marlins at MLBshop.com. Probably get some Pirates gear there too, but get the Marlins stuff. Jesus Sanchez to lead things off, then John Birdie and Garrett Hampson here in the second inning. RBI single for Jazz in the first to get the Marlins on the board. Up and away to Sanchez. 1 for 2 last night with a strikeout. Priester deals upstairs with the fastball. He last pitched Sunday afternoon in Cincinnati. 6 innings and 2 hits against the Reds. This one line foul down the left field line.
And let's take a peek at their defense real quick. Reynolds, Bass, Sawinski in the outfield, Hayes, Peguero, Gonzalez, Triolo in the infield, and Rodriguez, the catcher. Hayes over at third base, tremendous defender. Hasn't won a Gold Glove yet, but he's got a 1 or 2 in his future.
Swing and a miss. First strikeout of the night for Priester. Let's take a look at the pitch arsenal here for Priester. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
Well, we told you he has that sinker. He's got the slider. He's got the 4-seam, curveball, and also a changeup. He throws that sinker quite a bit. You can see the numbers against that pitch. The 4-seam fastball, that's the pitch that he likes to stay away from. It's getting hit at a 375 clip. And the reason for that is he always falls behind because he's walked so many. And I don't care how hard you throw if you're always in 2-0, 2-1 counts. They're going to beat you.
That's a base hit for John Birdie. Boy, he has been swinging it lately, hasn't he? Starting at second base tonight. Had his 9-game hit streak snapped last night. But picks up another knock right here. Did walk twice in the game, but on again.
Perfect example of what I'm talking about. He fell behind Birdie. 1 ball, no strikes. Birdie knew he was going to get that fastball, and he put a real good swing on it.
Here's Garrett Hampson.
And John Jay going to whisper in Birdie's ear and what that time was on that delivery by Priester to get the ball to home plate. And judging by how slow he was, and Birdie probably now has the green light to go if he chooses to do that.
Staying put up the middle. Diving play, Gonzalez, and that's all they're going to get is the out at second base. Right behind the second base bag, stuck with it, kept it on the infield, fed Peguero, but that was all they were going to get.
And Hampson hit the ball extremely hard right back through the middle. I thought it was going to get through, but a nifty play by Gonzalez, and then he shuffled it to Peguero, but Peguero could not get anything on the throw, and he wasn't going to throw Hampson out anyway.
Jacob Stallings takes just outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Stallings. 1 for 2 in last night's ball game. Getting to come back to Pittsburgh. Of course, started his big league career here. Won a Gold Glove with these Pirates before coming over to the Marlins. And one of those veteran leaders in that clubhouse, helping to keep everybody grounded. A wonderful leader of the pitching staff as well. He and Nick Fortes doing a great job this year. A lot of moving parts, a lot of openers. The big league debut mixed in there once or twice. Great guy to lean on.
You know, that's what Skip Schumacher has a clubhouse full of now with the additions of Bell and also Berger. He has guys that can police the clubhouse, and that's a beautiful thing for a manager.
Runner goes, and that one fouled away. Saw Soriano up in the Marlins bullpen.
If you don't have to police the clubhouse, and Skip does not want to police the clubhouse, he loves to have guys like Stallings and the other guys that I mentioned that can do that for him. We're constantly hearing guys talk about how good the clubhouse is. And you know what the indication of a good clubhouse is, buddy?
What do you have?
We don't hear nothing coming out of it.
That's a good call.
Nothing. Nothing like last year.
Check down at first, and they say he held up. 3-2.
Ooh. Did you see that check swing Harper got called out last night?
I was just about to say he went further than Bryce Harper.
That was crazy. Angel Hernandez, leave it to him.
But a fan got a helmet out of the deal, so it worked out well. 3-2, runner goes, and a base hit through that right side. Hampson on his way to third. Good at bat there for Stallings, and the Marlins have him on the corners with 2 outs.
A good 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Stallings knew he was going to get it because Priester doesn't have confidence in his breaking pitch in this situation. You can see where the second baseman is. He is right up the middle, and Jacob Stallings is able to hit that hole beautifully to go first to third for Hampson. He pointing at the bench.
Oh, look out.
Foul ball. Lucky.
Yeah, Soler. Skip is
he was out there already.
Nearly at home plate. Soler, fortunately, I think took that one off the knob of the bat.
I thought Skip was going to pull a hamstring, and he got out there so fast.
Well, they're calling it a hit by pitch, and you wonder if the Pirates are going to challenge or not, and they might be. That's challengeable. So they're challenging the hit by pitch. That's reviewable. We had a little confusion last night while we have a moment here on the foul tip that went off Rodriguez, the foot, the hand, and everything else. He caught it. That not reviewable, but umpires didn't see it, so they kind of had to go with it. It should have been
a strikeout
and out. Yes.
Something else too that as we get a look at this last play here, refresh your memory on what was happening with Robertson last night, because remember he came in, he was having some conversations with the home umpire on that ball he was using, and he said the umpire said the ball had a dent in it, so he wanted him to change the ball.
All right.
So we had a couple of different instances last night that we needed to explain to you.
The ruling on the field on this one was hit by pitch, and while it looks like it does get the knob, the question may be, does it get any part of Soler's hand, the fat part of the hand, or maybe the finger, because he does have the hand that goes over the knob of the bat.
Well, judging by his reaction and the fact that he really wasn't shaking that hand aggressively, because you get hit by 95, usually you're in a little bit more pain. So, and we'll see what they say in New York.
Crew chief is Chad Fairchild. He's got an answer. All right. So they say it's a hit by pitch, and some boos here in Pittsburgh. They saw it on the big board the same way that we did, but a hit by pitch will load the bases. So brings up Josh Bell, a base hit his first time up. Of course, the huge double part of that 8th inning rally last night. Cut on and missed. One for 4 lifetime against Priester. Taking inside to even the count. Hampson at third, Stallings at second, and Soler at first. 1-0 Marlins lead, top 2.
They could bust this thing wide open right here.
To first base. Triolo steps on the bag. Good opportunity for the Marlins, but they leave him loaded, leading 1-0 in Pittsburgh.
1-0 lead in the bottom of the 2nd over the Pirates. Well, all season long, when Skip Schumacher has talked about his group of players, he has described them as special, how they play for one another, how they have battled through adversity. And he told me today the one thing that brought it all together was trust. He gave a speech back in spring training. He looked at all the guys and said, you've got to be able to look left, you've got to be able to look right, and ask yourself, can I trust this player? Can they trust me? And Paul, all season long, the answer has been yes.
Yeah, and I think that that's a wonderful representation of how this team has played, because we've said it a lot, Rod. It's not been just one guy. Have there been great seasons? No doubt. Look at Soler. Look at Arise. But when this team rallies, it's an entire team effort.
No doubt about that. I mean, all 28 members as we speak right now that are contributing to the success of this ball club. 26 during the regular season, but they can expand once they get to September. And we can think of several moments during the course of this year where just about everybody on the roster did something to help the team win a game.
6 wins this season when trailing by 3 or more runs at the end of the 7th inning. That's all well and good, except that it's the most by any team in a single season in the modern era. Like, it's one thing to kind of see that number. It's another to put it into perspective and add context to just how this has gone. So we go back to 1906 with that number.
Oh my goodness. It started in spring training, and it really spilled out during the course of the first couple of months of the season when they really didn't have Jazz, they really didn't have Avi Garcia, so they had to figure out different ways to win. And that's when they were running a little bit more. They were doing some hitting and running, and they were playing a lot of close games. And the bullpen was stepping up, and they were winning all those games.
Base hit the other way for Andy Rodriguez. That's how the inning starts here with George Soriano on the bump. Listen to Miami Mic'd Up with Jeremy Taché, a weekly podcast with interviews from your favorite athletes. Subscribe to Miami Mic'd Up, presented by Celsius. Soriano already the 3rd pitcher for the Marlins tonight. We'll see if he becomes one of those bulk guys for them, as he has been a few times this year. 2, 3, maybe 4 innings if he's effective enough. Bouncer toward 3rd, but foul.
And Pirates, by and large, have a very young team, and they swing early and they swing often. Now, usually young hitters, they're afraid to take a strike or 2. They don't want to fall behind. Therefore, really, really aggressive.
Peguero, the shortstop, waits on an 0-1. And a ball taken outside. He was 2 for 4 last night with a couple of strikeouts. And again, grounded foul. 26th game of the year for Soriano. Down the right field line, fouled into the netting. And in 19 of those games, he has gone 4 outs or more. He's topped out at 4 innings, did that back in July. But a lot of 2-inning outings. About half of his outings have been 2 innings or more. Rodriguez off first, 1-2 on the way, and that's a base hit toward right field. The Pirates with a lot of traffic early on. They left 2 aboard in the first. Didn't push anything across, but they've got the first 2 on here in inning number 2.
Yeah, they've had some really good at-bats today, and most of their base hits have gone the opposite way. They're doing a really good job of letting the ball get deep in the strike zone.
Stallings will go out. Mel Stottlemyre Jr. comes out to talk to Soriano. Love a double play right here. Marlins have turned the 4th most in the National League. Ji-Hwan Bae for the Pirates, their center fielder tonight.
Bae's got some pretty good speed. He'll have to hit it hard right at somebody.
Soriano not necessarily a ground ball pitcher, just above league average at 43%.
The Marlins expecting the bunt on the corners. Bell and Berger both on the grass.
No sign of it on the first pitch. That's down and in. Bae was 0 for 10 when these two teams met in June in Miami. First and second, nobody out. Bottom 2. Now shows bunt, but pulls it back, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
And Bae is from Korea. Major League Baseball is quite global. Players from all over the country.
All over the planet. Two and 0. Inside, 3 balls and no strikes. Pours in a fastball. And of course, the Marlins having to do this bullpen game scenario thing out of necessity, but you always run the risk of having to have everybody be effective for the whole plan to work out. Soriano looks like he's battling himself a little bit here, but now 3 balls, 2 strikes to get that count back to, I guess, even.
You know, Skip Schumacher would love to win this game today, which means tomorrow probably would be another bullpen day. But he would have his healthy starters lined up for games 1 and 2, wherever they start the postseason at, with a win tonight. That would be Braxton and also Luzardo.
3-2, late defensive swing there, and Bae stays alive.
So you really couldn't draw it up any better.
Takes 7 pitches at least in this at bat, with first and second, nobody out. And that one grounded wide of first. Well, a busy top of the first inning for the Chicago Cubs after a walk-off loss in extras last night. Yan Gomes with a grand slam, part of a 5-0 Cubs first inning. Still batting in that first, by the way. This one a bouncing ball towards second. That's 1, and a close play is going to be a fielder's choice.
Nick Lenz And first base umpire really took his time before deciding to make that safe call. And apparently he made the right call. Slow developing play. Just not hit hard enough with the speed of Bay to turn 2.
That's been 1, 2. It's already 3 fielder's choices.
Yeah. Told you Bay could run. He has 24 steals. So you're going to have to, if you're Soriano, give Stallings an opportunity to at least throw him out if he's throwing through on a steal attempt.
Stays put on the first offering to Nick Gonzalez, a swing and miss.
This is something that Skip Schumacher and Mel Stoudemire Jr. said they will work very hard on up and down through the organization next year, and that's doing a better job at shutting down the running game.
Missing inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. By the way, we gave you that Cubs score. We'll also be monitoring the Reds game tonight. They're in the bottom of the first inning in St. Louis. Again, a Marlins win and they're in. Doesn't matter whatever else happens. But if the Cubs and Reds lose, then the Marlins are in on that side of it as well. Bunt right in front of home plate. The play will go to first. The play will go down the right field line. 1 run is in. And now the throw comes home, 2nd and 3rd after the errant throw.
Yeah, we told you last night that Derek Shelton, he comes from that school of thought. The Tampa Bay Rays, where they utilize that little safety squeeze play.
And I wonder if Skip is going to ask, since the ball was in front of home plate and that angle is what it was on the throw, was the runner on the correct side of the line going down to first? Was there a lane to throw?
That's probably exactly what he was looking to ask him. Apparently he got the answer. Maybe not the answer he wanted. But here's that safety squeeze pretty much. I mean, if you get the ball far enough away down the line, the runner from third will score. But that was not a good bunt there. Soriano took his time, but just threw one just about as bad as you can throw one. Almost hit the first base coach.
I mean, from that angle, he's on the wrong side of it. But no ask for clarification or group meeting with the umpires or anything of that nature. So on we go. 1-1 our score. Triolo is the leadoff man in the Pirates lineup, and a base hit in the first inning, and he bats with 2nd and 3rd. Marlins have the infield in. Berger maybe a step back at 3rd. The other caveat to a play like that is that the throw has to be catchable. I always tell catchers or pitchers, make sure that you throw toward the runner. If you just airmail it down the line, it's 500 feet ahead of above the first baseman's head. They're not going to get that call. It's got to be a catchable ball. So maybe that could have been it too, that the ball was thrown so wide that there was no issue on that.
Good point.
One and 2, and it's fouled back. Missing inside. And again, Soriano really battling here tonight. 1 out, a run already home. 24 pitches in a jam against Triolo, and Reynolds waiting on deck. But he got him to chase the slider.
He's got one more big out to get. Good pitch here. That's exactly what you want to do when the ball comes out of your hand. You want the hitter to think that it's a strike until that ball is no longer a strike and you get them to swing at it. Really nice job of disguising that breaking ball.
It's Brian Reynolds reached on a fielder's choice his first time, and Swings through that changeup.
He leads their team in RBIs. And he does have a parking spot for him, too, if he does not want to pitch to him. But then you got to go after Hayes. And he's no day at the beach.
No, sirree, Bob. And if you widen the scope on this Pirates team going forward, a team that the Marlins will actually see tomorrow, maybe it's the last game of the season, we'll see, but also to start next year, we'll see this Pirates team to start the 2024 season.
At Lone Depot?
Yes, sir. But you can start to see the makings of a core, right? Just looking at it here with Reynolds, Hayes, Sawinski, and Davis, at 2, 3, 4, 5. Whatever else they do this winter.
Rodriguez, their catcher, they're very high on him.
Yeah. Just a little up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Soriano delivers. And just outside. So 3-2. 30-pitch inning for Soriano.
Well, they say if you throw it 2-2, you got to throw it 3-2 as well. It's close, but he hasn't been all that efficient in his strike throwing today. Therefore, it's tough for Chad Fairchild to give him that pitch.
And they say he went around. Big strikeout for Soriano. It was a battle to get through the inning. He went. Back, Craig and Nelly have you covered tomorrow. Final pregame show of 2023. Hyundai presents our Marlins Live pregame show on the air at 2:30. All games across Major League Baseball tomorrow starting in the 3 o'clock hour. Going to create some drama, but there's a lot of drama going on tonight, too.
Yeah, still 5 spots open. 5 of the 12 postseason spots not decided as of yet. And it's only 2 days to go.
I know. You got a lot of things that can happen tonight. The Blue Jays can clinch a wild card berth. Obviously, we've talked about the Marlins. The D-backs can do the same thing. They're in a similar spot as the Marlins here tonight. They need the same combination of things to happen. The Astros can clinch a postseason berth tonight. The Rangers can get into the postseason and win the West tonight. So there's a lot going on, a lot of scoreboard watching. This is a really fun time to be a baseball fan. Berger, Jazz, and De La Cruz for the Marlins. There's a strike.
And 94 and mile power sinking to through 1 count. Kind of surprised that Berger didn't swing at it. He's a really good fastball hitter.
Now 6-0. You saw that score. 6-0 in Milwaukee. Cubs in front. Scoreless in St. Louis. But I'm told Milwaukee's got the bases loaded, nobody out. So don't go anywhere. There's a ground ball towards short. And Berger retired for the first out here in the 3rd. No bases loaded, nobody out. Milwaukee. Good time for a triple play, I suppose. Anyway, time to lace up and step up to the plate for a family-friendly event benefiting UHealth Research for brain health and mental wellness. Register for the Triple Play 5K presented by UHealth on Saturday, December 16th. Visit marlins.com/TP5K. Jazz fly ball high and deep out toward right. Back at the wall. Gone! A home run for Jazz. A high arcing solo homer.
Majestic shot for Jazz Chisholm. It's the second time he's hit one like that this year.
Two-1 Marlins here in the 3rd. Another big swing for Jazz to put the Marlins back in front.
Jazz has driven in 3 runs the last couple of days. As a matter of fact, the last 3 runs the Marlins have had driven in, and Jazz has done the damage.
RBI single in the first, and that home run. Back to the homer.
And 4-seam fastball right down the middle. Jazz got underneath it, and he knew it was gone. Actually, a little cutter.
About 5 rows deep over that high right field wall.
He's got that classic uppercut swing.
0-2 to De La Cruz. Grounds this one to shortstop. And Peguero makes the play. There are 2 down. Well, you look at how Soriano was able to navigate out of that inning and keep it with just that 1 run scoring, and the Marlins jump right back out in front with the solo home run. Upstairs on Jesus Sanchez. 19th home run for Jazz, so perhaps a game and a half left to maybe join that 2020 club.
It's one of the things that we've talked about the last couple of days regarding Jazz Chisholm and all the players in Major League Baseball this year that have gone 30-30. It's been a lot of them. Probably the most in the history of the game, with the new bases and the speed up rules and pitchers not being able to throw over as many times as they'd like. Bobby Witt of the Kansas City Royals, the latest member of the 30-30 club.
Yeah.
First Kansas City Royal to ever do it. But Jazz has that ability. And he can be a 30-30 guy too. But all he just needs to do is stay on the field.
Ball and 2 strikes. Taken upstairs to Sanchez. Priester rocks and fires, a 2-2 on the way.
Yeah, Sanchez should get a pretty good fastball to hit right here, unless Priester decides to go with another changeup.
Line drive out toward left and down for a base hit. Sanchez puts on the brakes around first. 2-out base hit to keep the 3rd inning alive.
And Sanchez didn't hit it very hard, but he'll take it. He has also gotten a lot of base hits this way this year, more so than he ever has in any year.
Had a walk-off that kind of looked a little bit like that.
Yeah, he's learned how to hit the ball to left field by watching guys like Arise do it, watching Gurriel do it, but only Gurriel hitting it the opposite way to right field.
Birdie hit one the opposite way, a base hit his first time up.
Birdie's also reached the seats a couple of times this year, going against the traffic. I don't know where he's getting that power from, but man, he's had a nice little power surge here in the month of September.
Takes a strike on the corner. Yeah, last 11 games, 4 home runs. A couple of doubles, a triple mixed in there. 533 batting average for John Birdie, getting hot at the right time for the Marlins.
2 of those home runs, one to straightaway center field at Lone Depot, the other one to right center field.
Slow roller towards short. There's not going to be a play with his speed. Peguero coming in, tried to barehand it. That was the only chance he had. That should be an infield single for Birdie.
And Birdie 2 for 2 today. And even if Peguero's able to field this ball, he's not going to throw Birdie out. He played it the only way that he could. Omar Vizquel was the best at that barehand play from the shortstop position.
Brings up Garrett Hampson. Grounded into a fielder's choice, although looked like it was going to be a hit off the bat up the middle, but Nick Gonzalez making a nice play at second base. And it's 0-1. Hampson, another start at shortstop for the Marlins tonight.
He's been getting most of the reps at shortstop on this trip.
His last 40 games hitting .319. Part of that goes back to July before he had, again, because of the number crunch, the roster crunch, sent back down to AAA. But what a job he's done for this, I don't even want to say just team, but organization, because he's also done well at AAA too.
And he's got good leadership skills, so you know he was able to share some of those leadership skills with some of the younger players down in AAA. You know he's an unselfish player. That's why Skip Schumacher loves him so much.
Just got a piece to stay alive.
When Hampson was playing in Colorado for a couple of years, of course, Skip was with the Padres, and he saw him play a lot. He's a fan, real fan of Garrett Hampson.
One ball and 2 strikes taken upstairs. Home run from Jazz in the inning. Sanchez at second, Birdie at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And we'll do it again.
The Marlins also did something very creative with Garrett Hampson toward the tail end of spring training. They put him on the roster, and then they sent him down to the minor leagues. Had they not put him on the roster and then tried to send him down, he would have been a free agent. He'd have went to go play somewhere else. So they knew the kind of player that they had, and they weren't going to let him get away, even though he wasn't going to make the initial roster to start the season.
Yeah, shrewd move. He has really fit the formula here. This one into right, racing in, making the catch, and just about missing his teammate, Jack Sawinski. But Jazz with a rainmaker. Oh, I shouldn't say rain anymore. It's been a bad road trip for that. But a home run nonetheless. Marlins take a 2-1 lead. Welcome back. Bottom of the third. Marlins a 2-1 lead on the Jazz home run. Keeping an eye on scores elsewhere, but knowing that they can control their own destiny and get in with a win. Marlins have that lead here as Soriano works in the bottom of the third inning. Hayes, Sawinski, and Davis due up for Pittsburgh. That's a high pop.
Who wants it?
It'll be Hampson if it ever comes down, and that's one away. So again, Marlins can win and they're in. There's also a scenario they can get in if they were not to be victorious tonight, but the Cubs and Reds would both have to lose. Cubs off to a quick start. They led 6-0, but now it's 6-3 in the second inning. And the Reds, their starting pitcher tonight, 12 pitches, all balls, walk the bases loaded. He's out of the game. Cardinals a 5-run first inning. So that is pretty good in favor of the Marlins. Diamondbacks play in just a little bit as well, at 25 minutes or so. And the thing about the Diamondbacks, they can clinch a playoff berth with a win or a loss by the Reds. Marlins bring the Cubs into play because of the half game and that whole scenario. But for the Diamondbacks, they just need a win or a loss by the Reds, so we'll track that as the night goes along as well. Toyota Trend, the playoff chances, Marlins at 90.5%.
That's pretty good.
They would like to make it 100%.
Like those top 4 teams.
Yeah. Arizona on the doorstep. And they've got, of course, the rest of the night tonight. They've got another game tomorrow and perhaps Monday back in New York. That game suspended Thursday night in the 9th inning with the Marlins up 2-1, 2 on and 2 out, top 9. So see how that all shakes out, but they can end a lot of wondering and maybe some planning, who knows, with a win here. Soriano gets the strikeout of Sawinski, and there are 2 outs.
I don't know what is more exciting, the games of 163 that you had on occasion, or what we're experiencing here the final weekend of the season with so many teams still in the hunt. It's almost like a game 163.
Yeah, drama really across the country. It's been an awful lot of fun.
And it's fun to be a part of it. All of a sudden our traveling party has increased a little bit.
Well, there's just so many people that are involved, right, that make it so that this team is what it is, whether it be front office, scouts, ownership, yeah, all kinds of things. It you know, obviously the players are the ones that are on the field, but they're on the field with the help and guidance and resources of a lot of people in this organization, which is not too different from how we are here at Valley Sports Florida. So while Stallings goes out and talks with Soriano, a few people to thank, obviously, as we go here. See a lot of graphics throughout the games. Will Waldman, kind of at the forefront of all of our graphics, has done a wonderful job on 3.5 hours of sleep over the last 2 weeks with a new baby at home. Greg Longstaff going over to Panthers hockey soon. Ken Lee, Colette Chance, Andrew Firestein, all have done great work on our graphics throughout the year. Bill Wadlick does our Bally Bar a lot of the nights down at the bottom of your screen there. Michael Applebaum and Dennis Morera helping out with that as well. So we appreciate all the hard work from our graphics folks as well.
A lot of fine people, a lot of hard-working people to put up with you.
Oh, yeah. I drive a hard bargain.
To put up with you. They need extra pay.
2 balls and a strike here to Davis.
Soriano feels like he's been getting squeezed here tonight. He's thrown a lot of pitches that have been called that, just like that. You can tell by his reaction after he threw the pitch. He thought it was a strike. He's done that a lot since he's been in the game today.
(3-1) to short, diving play. Hampson gets up and a wide throw. Davis will stop at first base. He left his feet. The question, though, if it's always a 2-part play when you look at the official scores. Did he set his feet? Could he have made a good throw to get the out? But a wonderful effort to keep that from being a clean single, at least.
And no doubt an outstanding play here by Garrett Hampson. Should be a base hit. We'll see, though.
Sounds like it is. So Endy Rodriguez.
He singled sharply to left field his first time up today.
Also scored on the error, the lone Pirates run. Marlins 2-1 here, bottom of the 3rd. And a base hit the opposite way. 2 2-out hits for Pittsburgh here in the 3rd.
That's exactly the exact same spot and that Rodriguez hit the baseball his first time up today. He's got a lot of upside. They really, really like Rodriguez in his catching ability.
Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out to talk once again with Soriano. He was at 45 pitches. This year he's topped out at 61, so not yet maybe at the end of the line, but in terms of pitch count, but it's again really been trying to find the strike zone on a consistent basis. Was able to wiggle out of what could have been a big inning in that 2nd and trying to get his way through this 3rd.
And Marlins are already down to 2 mound visits. They've had a couple of, they've had quite a few of them already.
Well, the Brewers not going quietly. 6-5 now in the bottom of the second inning.
The Brew Crew.
Cubs have just had a really tough time holding leads.
They've had a horrible month of, really they've had a bad last 2 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. 14 of 20 that they've lost.
Yeah.
Cardinals a 5-0 lead over the Reds. So we continue to monitor those scores. As we all know, the Marlins can win and they're in. They can take care of their own business tonight. But the Pirates also not going quietly. They've been threatening just about every inning. Left 2 on in the first, 2 on in the second. And they've got 2 on and 2 out here in the third.
Yeah, just like the Marlins. We've left quite a few men on base as well. A lot of base runners in the game for both teams tonight so far. And not a lot of scoring.
Marlins pen quiet at the moment. Another check, and Figueroa held up. Foul tip to even it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The next pitch for Soriano will give him an even 50.
It's the 6th time this year he gets to 50 pitches in an outing. That number will keep climbing on the foul ball the right side.
This much we do know, Marlins staff this year has punched out a lot of batters. And Soriano has that really good breaking pitch to get him another strikeout here to get out of the inning.
And he got him. Got him to chase the slider. Huge strikeout. 4 for Soriano. Pirates strand 2 more. Marlins lead by 1. Home plate umpire and crew chief Chad Fairchild. Not sure as to what. Could be any number of different things.
They had a nice long conversation.
Could be a rules thing. Maybe that throw down the first baseline that was a little bit in question earlier. Perhaps whether he has a favorite sandwich at Permanente Brothers.
Yeah.
Could be that. Very well be.
You been there?
I have not. I walked by it today. There was a little bit of a line, and then I didn't.
You'd have had to take a nap after one of those.
Who's to say I didn't nap anyway? A.J. Buck is warming in the Marlins bullpen. As Jacob Stallings swings and misses. Stallings, Soler, and Bell here in the 4th inning. Marlins by 1. 4th inning of work for the Pirates starter Quinn Priester. Base hit last time up for Stallings. Poking one through the right side. And a high strike call right at the top of the zone, really, but a strike 3 nonetheless, and there is 1 away. Now time for our youth player of the game, and tonight it is Aiden. Catcher, pitcher, 10 years old for the South Florida Strike, and his favorite Marlin is Jorge Soler. Likes hanging out with friends, having some fun, playing video games. Wants to be a big leaguer when he grows up. I'll tell you what, that picture looks like he's well on his way.
Yeah, he's like a nice little chain on too.
And a home run from Carlos Santana. Boy, that is a big one.
What a crazy game that is. 6 runs in the first for the Cubs, and the Brewers come storming back. And Brewers not necessarily known for their offense. Here comes that fastball count again. And this is why Priester gets hit so hard.
There's a base hit through the left side for Soler.
Once he learns to get ahead a little bit, that fastball will play up here, but not in 3-1, 2-1, 2-0 counts all day. It's the 9th hit for the Marlins today. 3-1 fastball. He's lucky that Soler didn't hit it out of the ballpark. He killed that thing. He had to leave his bat at 112. Yeah, maybe not that much. It's over 100 though.
You don't have to wait long to get the metrics on that. Bell, fly ball out towards center. Playable for the out. You're close. 110. It's because we're high up. That's probably one. Tough to calibrate speed.
Yeah. When he does hit him, though, man, his exit velocity is amazing. Berger, real good 4-seam fastball hitter, too.
Grounds that one foul. That was a changeup. He's 0 for 2 today. Popped to second, grounded to short. An RBI single in the 8th inning of last night's game. That 4-run 8th for the Marlins. They take the lead. Another 1-run win for them. 33-13. Best record in 1-run games in baseball this year.
And they lost 40 of those games last year. 40 of them.
Ooh.
To flip the script like that in 1 year?
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
Well, we kept saying a lot of times last year, you know, if they win half of the ones that they lost, what their record would be. This one is a bouncer to third, and they get Berger to end the inning. We'll update some scores around the league on the other side of the break. It's a 2-1 Marlins lead here in Pittsburgh. Sports is brought to you by your South Florida Hyundai dealers, by Leon Health, the exclusive Medicare Advantage plan for Leon Medical Centers, by Pepsi Zero Sugar, Zero never tasted so good, and by FPL. Learn how FPL is investing in the future of Florida at FPL.com/value. 2-1 our score here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Marlins can win, and they're in. They can get in another way, too, if the Cubs lose and the Reds lose. Cubs had a 6-0 lead. That's now 6-6, bottom 2 in Milwaukee, and the Reds are down 8-0 after they won 19-2 last night.
Yeah, Reds are tired today.
Wow.
They scored so many runs last night.
Wow. Well, for a little bit more on the teams in the race, we go downstairs to Jessica Blaylock.
Hey, Paul, the NL wildcard race has been exactly that, absolutely wild. But one thing people may not realize is that the 4 teams vying for the final 2 spots have all made drastic improvements when it comes to their number of wins this season versus their number of wins last season. And that includes Miami. The Marlins, along with the Diamondbacks, Reds, and Cubs, all finished with sub-500 records last year. Every one of those teams will finish this season with a winning record, but only 2 can get in. The Marlins hoping to make that happen tonight.
Yeah, and if the score holds in Cincinnati, that means the Diamondbacks are in, no matter what they do against the Astros tonight. And the Marlins would need 2 outside forces to help them if they don't take care of business on their own here tonight. A.J. Puck takes over. This is his 58th game of the season. And about that wonderful graphic there from Jessica, when it comes to managers of the year, I think we'd both be in agreement that it should be Skip. And that's not just because we have a horse in the race as Puck gets the strikeout, but just the job that he's done, period, has been great. But when they're announcing the 3 finalists, I think it will come from that list of 4 teams.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, David Bell of Cincinnati, Torey Lovello of the Diamondbacks. They've all done wonderful jobs this year, and they're all going to get some serious consideration when it's all said and done. But Skip gets my vote.
Line drive, base hit over the head of Berger at third. Gonzalez on his way to second base. Here comes the throw, a little bit late. Double out of that 9 spot, and Gonzalez has been on twice, once on the error and once on that 1-out double. Speaking of managers of the year, managers with a winning record in their first full season. Jim Leyland, 97. How'd that turn out? Jack McKeon in his first full season, of course, 03 he was brought in, and how'd that turn out? And then Skip Schumacher this year, 83 and 76. We know that the Marlins, no matter how these next couple of days go, will finish above 500. What a year it has been.
I like where you're going with that.
It's another hat tip to Will. One for 2 nights so far for Triolo. Base hit in the first inning, strikeout in the second. And this one down the left field line, foul. Puck already the 4th pitcher for the Marlins. Here we are, bottom of the 4th inning. JT Chagua started, got the first 2 outs. Okert got the Marlins out of the first inning. Soriano a couple of innings of work. And now Puck did not get the call at the top of the zone there, 1-2.
And Puck started the season out as the Marlins closer. He struggled a bit there around the halfway point of the season, and now he's pitching a little earlier in games.
Called strike 3, does get that call, although it looked to have the edge anyway.
I had a nice conversation with Puck yesterday, and I was asking him what adjustments has he made. I was watching in New York, and he and Mel Stottlemyre Jr. were working in the bullpen one afternoon while it was raining down there, and he told me that he switched from the first base side of the rubber to the third base side of the rubber. So he basically took his foot, moved it over to the other side, and he says because of that he's able to get his breaking ball inside now and the fastball inside. But when he was on the other side, he was giving up home runs. His breaking ball was flat and it was staying on the outside part of the plate. Now being inside, he says he can bury that pitch down and in, and he can get that fastball right where he got that fastball. So sometimes it's not arm adjustments, it's psychological sometimes, and it can be something as simple as just moving your foot in the rubber.
And he's one of those guys that has that sweeper, so obviously movement is a big part of what he does.
That's exactly what he said. But you remember he was getting those home runs.
Oh yeah,
on those breaking pitches, and they were staying outside. Now he's been able to get them inside, and you can see some of the results here have been a little bit better lately.
Tried that sweeper, missed down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Reynolds.
They definitely need him to get back to that form if they're going to get to where they want to get to, because we talked about this a couple of days ago. The hottest bullpen usually that gets in the postseason is the team that usually wins it all.
In the air, right field line, coming in is Sanchez. Foul territory, makes the catch. And Puck strands a runner at second base. We'll head to the 5th inning. Marlins up 2-1. Top here in Pittsburgh. Go to @Valley Marlins on X and repost the Fan Fuel Bundle powered by the Florida Lottery, and include the hashtag Fan Fuel Bundle for a chance to win 5 triple match scratch offs and 2 tickets to a Marlins game next season. Must be 18 or older to enter. Marlins have that 2-1 lead thanks to Jazz. They got on the board thanks to an RBI single. They took the lead with his home run, number 19 on the year. And that one taken outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
And Jazz has the ability to take over a game, and with his legs or his bat or his glove for that matter. Gotten a lot better in center field.
Sharply hit. Nice play on the edge of the grass and on the edge of the glove for Gonzalez to take another hit away.
That ball was smoked. They're hitting the ball extremely hard against Priester today. But we told you before the game started that he gives up a lot of hard contact.
Took him into shallow right before spinning and throwing. Brian De La Cruz fouls that one back. De La Cruz 0 for 2 tonight. Grounded into a double play to end the first inning. Grounded out to short in the third. And rips that one, but a little out in front. It's a 10-game hit streak right now for De La Cruz. Out towards center, but into the glove of Bay. Well, the Cardinals are pouring it on right now. 10-0, bottom of the second inning. One of Skip's former ball clubs taking care of one of Skip's former ball clubs.
Cincinnati has played some crazy games. They had a 9-0 lead against this Pittsburgh Pirates team last week. They were winning 9-0, and the Pirates came back to snatch the game from them 11-9. Then they scored 19 runs yesterday. Now today they're going to give up 19.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun on the run differential these last few days. 1 ball, no strikes to Sanchez, who takes a strike at the bottom of the zone. And it's 1-2 now. Sanchez down on strikes. Marlins go 1-2-3 in the 5th. We are halfway home. Marlins magic number 1. A win and they're in. 2-1. Beautiful moon here in Pittsburgh. Marlins and Pirates, middle game of their 3-game series. Marlins can clinch a playoff berth with a win. Second inning of work here for A.J. Puck. Face Brian Hayes, Jack Sawinski, and Henry Davis. And a swing and a miss as that sweeper working. 6 times this year that Puck has registered at least 4 outs in an outing. He's gone as long as 2 innings. Did that back in April.
That sweeper has about 2 feet of vertical break when it's right for Puck.
Hayes to right, toward the corner, toward the wall, and bangs off the wall. Goes past Sanchez, probably a 2-base hit either way. Leadoff double for Brian Hayes.
Brian Hayes got himself a fastball that looked like it might have been on the inner third of home plate. This is 30th double of the year, and he smoked this ball the opposite way. He hit this ball so hard to right field, it's almost like it came off the bat of a left-hander.
That wall 21 feet high, and that one about 17 feet up in the air. So it stays in the ballpark. And the Pirates again have had a lot of traffic tonight. Stranding 7 runners so far, 2, 2, 2, and 1 in the 4 innings. They've got the leadoff man on here in the 5th. Strike to Sawinski.
And that wall 21 feet high in right field in honor of Roberto Clemente, who wore number 21. It's a nice touch to this ballpark. Got a bridge too.
Into shallow center. Back goes Hampson and makes the catch. Now word from Estrella. Brings up Henry Davis. Fly ball to right and a single back in the 3rd inning. Another good sweeper. 0-1. And his 6-game hit streak snapped last night. 0-2.
He's got to make a quality pitch here. He's done a real nice job getting ahead of Davis. I mean, that next breaking ball might work again here. And judging by those first 2 swings, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
Kind of like that. He has got it moving.
It's a perfect example of reading swings right there, knowing that he couldn't hit that pitch.
AT&T Fiber fast pitch. So franchise ranks when it comes to strikeouts, they are first. Strikeouts per 9, first. Hits per game, whip, and opponent on base percentage, all top 3.
Pretty good.
Truly a testament to the job that Mel Stoudemire Jr. has done. At the outset, you look at the 5 starters, you say, all right, that's great. But the Marlins have used way more than 5 starters. They've used way more than the bullpen arms that they broke camp with. Again, a lot of moving parts, some injuries, minor or major, along the way. And here they are, relying on that pitching in game 160, we'll call it 1, of the year.
They would not be here if not for the stellar job that the pitchers have done all season.
And it's up the middle, a base hit. Throw from Jazz coming home a little bit late. And Andy Rodriguez comes up with another big hit in this series. We're tied at 2 in the 5th.
That's his 3rd hit of the game. And nice swing. Looked like a fastball, just stayed up in the strike zone. He ripped it right back through the middle for a solid single. Nice throw by Jazz. Key Brian Hayes is really taking his time coming around third base and nearly got thrown out. He didn't think it was going to be a play on him.
Ground ball to Berger. Goes to first to end the inning. On to the 6th. 2-2 here in Pittsburgh. A 2-2 ball game. Enjoy more fun under the sun with the Florida Lottery, introducing the new $5 million triple match scratch off. Head to your local Florida retailer and get yours today. Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly. Well, a brand new ball game. 2-2. Top 6. John Birdie leading off. Bottom 3rd of the Marlins order. Birdie, Hampson, and Stallings.
Yeah, Marlins have had base runners galore tonight against Priester, and he's been able to pitch out of all the jams that he's gotten himself into. They've left 7 on.
Marlins 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position, but one of their runs came on a solo home run from Jazz.
And he came into the game with an earned run average nearly 8. They just can't get the big hit.
Fresh off his first quality start of his career. One thing that the Marlins will not have to contend with tomorrow is Mitch Keller. He would have been lined up to go tomorrow just based on time and whatnot, but
he's their best.
He's their opening day starter. He's been fantastic, but they've shut him down. So who's going to pitch tomorrow? We don't know on either side. Will it be the last game of the season? We don't know that either.
Yeah, we don't know. A lot of things up in the air.
We don't know. We might have one more inning or 2 in New York. No clue. All right, there you go. Go Marlins. Make a splash. I love it. Seen a lot of that. Marlins are gaining a little traction around the country as Birdie held up the swing there. They apparently want someone to hit one over toward that splash zone over by the Ohio River.
I'll go for that.
Yeah.
O'Neal Cruz was hitting them out there with regularity during BP today. You and I were in awe of watching him. My goodness.
Yeah, they've been missing him for sure this year.
Good combination here to hit and run or do something with. You got some speed at the plate. You got some speed on the bases.
Well, they drop down the bunt. Who's at first base? That would be nobody.
Oh, miscommunication there.
Hampson is aboard. Now the Marlins have great speed on with Stallings come to the plate. 2 on and nobody out.
Gonzalez at the second base position. As soon as he saw Trioli vacate his position to come field the bunt, he's got to come to first base. But look at the second baseman. He's not running very hard, and he's able to beat it.
Yeah, Yeah, probably not what the Pirates would have wanted there defensively, to leave first base completely unoccupied. And now you wonder what the Marlins do.
It would have been very difficult for Gonzalez to beat Hansen to first base, judging by where he started. I mean, he was almost up the middle. What do you think? You got Stallings bunting here too, you think?
Well, that's kind of where I was leading you, but the only thing
no.
is that then you got Soler on deck, and it could be a situation where you take the bat out of his hands if the Pirates decide to walk him.
Yeah, but you got Bell after
you got
that.
Bell.
I'm gonna say yes.
All right.
We'll see though. I'm gonna say yes though.
Okay. Cubs have scored a couple. They lead at 8-6 that game in the top of the fourth inning. It's 11-0 St. Louis at home against Cincinnati.
Pirates looking for the bunt.
And Stallings drops down the bunt, but it's foul.
And one of the things that you can't do, you got to get that bunt out in front. Take a look at the bunt here. Watch him pull that bat back. You got to keep that bat out in front of the plate, and you can't stab at it like that. You got to get it out there and just hold it there, and then it'll just deaden the baseball. Really, what you're trying to do when you're bunting, it's almost like you got a glove in your hand, and you're just trying to catch the baseball.
Drops down the bunt. Hayes comes in to play it. Goes to first base for the out. Sacrifice goes 5-4, and the Marlins have 2 in scoring position with 1 out.
And now we'll see if Mr. Shelton is going to do what you think he should do, and that's put Soler on.
Well, if he does, it will not be a Priester intentional walk that does it, because he's going to make a pitching change. And then right as there was a little meeting on the mound, Skip going out asking Stallings to come back and chit chat, and could just be, hey, here's what we're doing.
Yeah, you're bunting.
Yeah,
you're bunting.
hard to steal a sign that way. Priester out, and a pitching change here in Pittsburgh. On and 1 out. Stream Marlins baseball live on the Bally Sports app and Bally Sports Plus, presented by Miller Lite. Jorge Soler to the dish. Looks like they're going to pitch to him. The infield in.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
Dowry Moretta is out of that Pirates bullpen. His first pitch is inside. Missed with the slider. Numbers on the righty out of the Dominican Republic. His 54th game this year in a 3.83 ERA.
Good season. 191 opponent's average, 73 strikeouts. He's looking for a strikeout here.
Again, trying that slider in, but missing. 2 balls and no strikes. Double in the first and came in to score the Marlins' first run. Hit by a pitch in the second, singled in the fourth.
If Soler gets a fastball here, he's going to have bad intentions when he swings this bat.
Well, he got another slider, but came up empty, tipped and held onto by Rodriguez.
When he takes those big swings, he always goes down to one knee. Still dealing with a little bit of discomfort.
2-1. Another slider down and away. 3 balls and a strike. David Robertson warming in the Marlins bullpen. Three-1 to short. They'll come home with it, but it's late, and Birdie scores. Soler's safe at first base, and the Marlins take a 3-2 lead.
And Peguero got the ball in a hurry. He really should have had an out at home plate. I know Birdie's fast, but it looked like he just kind of took his time, kind of nonchalant, like Birdie wasn't going to try to score. And Birdie's able to score. Take a look at him here once he gets the ball. Ball hit hard, but just like he just kind of took his time. Great hustle by John Birdie. Going on contact. It's contact play.
In to score ahead of the tag, and the Marlins are in front 3-2.
Need to score a couple more here.
Bell at the dish, first and third, one out.
And Moretta, all he throws is off-speed pitches. Slider, slider, slider. First pitch to Bell, changeup.
Great speed at third base with Hampson. Soler, the runner at first. Gets credit for the RBI and the fielder's choice. 0-1. And a fly ball out toward right. In front of the track. Making the catch, throwing towards second. It'll be a sac fly for Josh Bell, and the Marlins have scored twice in this sixth inning. 4-2.
Yeah, Marlins playing the game the right way here in this frame. And base hit by Birdie, Hampson. Sac bunt successful. Sac fly by Bell. Manufacturing some runs.
Hampson scores easily. Marlins by a pair. Berger takes up. 0 for 3 tonight for Jake.
Berger with 34 homers on the season and 80 steaks. Retta's got a good arm. That's the fastball, 96.
Swing and a miss there. All of the runs charged to Priester, so his line complete now at 4 earned runs, 10 hits, and 5 1/3. But this is a Pirates bullpen, and I say this knowing it'll be their bullpen the rest of the way, that can be scored upon and has been. An ERA just under 6 since September 10th. Out towards center field. Bay is there, but the Marlins get 2. RBI ground out and a sacrifice fly. Their magic number is 1. Their lead is 2. Bottom of the 6th inning coming up. Marlins a 4-2 lead. They can clinch a playoff berth with a win here tonight. In the loss column, they are even with the Arizona Diamondbacks in those wild card standings. A win and they're in. They can also get a little help if it doesn't go their way tonight from the Cubs and Reds, who would both need to lose. Right now the Cubs have an 8-6 lead in Milwaukee, and the Reds are getting trounced in St. Louis. Right now it's 11-0. But the Marlins are where they need to be, and that is out in front. 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. David Robertson set to take over out of that Marlins bullpen, his 62nd game this year. And the other thing, again, you can worry a little bit about the Arizona Diamondbacks and what they're doing. They are really only concerned with the Reds. If the Reds lose, the Diamondbacks are in, and we'll get down the road when it comes to seeding second or third wild card at a later date. Not really worried about that right now. A few things can happen, could happen, may not happen. We'll see. A lot of scenarios to deal with the league on that one, mostly regarding the game in New York. But for now, it's just about getting into the postseason, and the Marlins in the driver's seat. Robertson, a first pitch strike to Ji-Hwan Bae. Saw Robertson in last night's ball game. Had a strikeout and a hit allowed in 1 inning of work. Pitched that 8th inning.
Got a big double play ball, didn't he?
He's been very good as of late. He certainly did. He got Rodriguez to ground into the double play after the leadoff single. That one missing down low to Bae. Just a couple of earned runs this month for Robertson. Came in 1 game against Atlanta.
He's been a lot better. A veteran pitcher, and that's pitched in a lot of big games. He knows what it is to pitch in October.
And deep into October. Said it before, the last active member of that 09 Yankee championship team.
Ooh, almost got him with that knuckle curve back door.
set up role then, of course. Last year, a little time with the Philadelphia Phillies. And it's a fly ball out to left field. Playable for De La Cruz. And there's one away. Guarantee postseason access with a Marlins membership. Fans who purchase a 2024 Marlins membership have the opportunity to buy a 2023 postseason package that includes tickets to all possible postseason home games. Visit marlins.com/postseason. I only bring this up because we're already talking about the postseason, but the Marlins would need to win a wild card series in order to get postseason home games. Because as the format currently stands, the wild card series will be in Milwaukee. They'll be the 3 seed. They'll host the 6 seed. And in Philadelphia, they will host the 5 seed, wild card 2. And all 3 of those games, potentially all 3, it's a best of 3, would be in that one venue, and they'd play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week. 0-2.
So the Marlins would not get a home game.
Would not get a home game until they were to hopefully get into that second round, that division series. And Matt Moore warming in the Marlins bullpen, by the way. So again, while we're on the subject here, wild card 2, the 5 seed, would get Philadelphia, and the winner of that series would get Atlanta, because they're not going to reseed in that second round. Wild card 3, the 6 seed, gets Milwaukee in Milwaukee. Winner of that series gets the Dodgers, not going to reseed. So that's kind of the path.
I'm glad you said that. I did not know that. I always thought that you would, even in a 3-game series, I always thought that you would at least get one home game. But maybe that's the new rule.
It's because it's all condensed, because they're playing those 3, potentially again all 3, without a day off, because now you have to worry about those teams with the byes having too much time off.
That's why you make the big bucks, buddy. You're taking care of our fans.
Yeah, it would also just be really difficult to decide which game the lower seed gets, right? You want to give them the first game, get the advantage of having the first game at home.
Right.
You don't want to travel back and forth and have them have the middle game and go 1-1-1.
No, you think it would be 2, and then whatever. If they lose the 2, obviously you don't get 1.
But then it's a clincher in the lower seed's home park, so there's not an easy way to figure that out.
I guess not.
Now a message from FPL.
Learn how FPL is investing in Florida's future at fpl.com/value.
Two away for Triolo. Single back in the first inning. Two strikeouts since.
Good fastball there. Good cut fastball at 93. And thrown by Robertson. He's made a living with that cut fastball and that knuckle curve. Mound presence, intestinal fortitude, you name it, he's got it.
15 years in the big leagues.
Still going strong.
And at the trade deadline, one of, if not the best available right-handed option. And the Marlins able to land him from the Mets.
I know we keep talking about Skip Schumacher being a manager of the year. And we need to start talking about Kim Ng being executive of the year. She's had that kind of season with the moves that she started making before the season even began.
Great inning there for David Robertson. A couple of strikeouts, a 1-2-3 6th inning. 4-2 in Pittsburgh. He's thrilled. Lovely wife here as well. A lot of Marlins front office and ownership personnel here cheering on the Marlins, and you can do the same thing tomorrow at Duffy's Sports Grill in Plantation. It's Special appearances by Billy the Marlin, the Marlins Mermaids, and much more. Marlins.com/bars. I know there's a watch party going on tonight down in South Florida. So we appreciate all of the support, and hopefully it's a very fun evening and hopefully a long evening of celebrating as well. But the Marlins have to finish off what they have started here. They have a 4-2 lead as we play on into the 7th inning. Jose Hernandez, a lefty out of that Pirates bullpen, their third pitcher tonight.
Hernandez with a .481 earned run average, pitching in his 50th contest this year. 60 strikeouts against 20 and base on balls.
Facing Jazz to start. And a wrinkle with that slider. 1-0.
He too works on the extreme third base side of the rubber, which probably aids him in getting that fastball away from Jazz and also that breaking ball away from Jazz.
Jazz certainly a good start to the night. Skip Schumacher wanting his club to get that early run. They did. A Jazz base hit in the first inning to make it 1-0. A solo home run in the third to make it 2-1.
Jazz creates so many holes defensively because he has so much speed. The third baseman has to play in at the cut of the grass. Didn't go. And then you got the shortstop playing up the middle. And that's all because of his speed.
Two balls and 2 strikes. Lefty deals to Jazz and goes back to that slider. But it's the first out here in the 7th. Brings up Brian De La Cruz. Now a word from Baptist Health. Strike at the bottom of the zone. De La Cruz 0 for 3. But a good swing on one his last time up. A line drive out to center.
And
now nothing in 2.
DLC a little tardy on that fastball after the first pitch, breaking pitch. And perfect example of maybe still looking for a breaking ball and then trying to get to the fastball, which is not doable when a guy throws 95. De La Cruz has had a nice season. 19 homers, 77 driven in, 721 OPS. Had a decent year.
A lot of people expected a breakout from him, and I think he has done that, although it comes up empty here. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hernandez.
It's almost like a screwball coming out of his hand. A lot of fade with that pitch.
Sanchez takes upstairs. Jesus a base hit back in the 3rd. Sandwiched around a couple of strikeouts.
Them hot dogs in that backdrop look pretty good about right now.
It's a little more than a foot long, I'd say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They get you hungry, though.
Now Matt Moore looking like he's heating up for the 7th inning.
I mean, we get Nardi for the 8th and Scott for the 9th, if it all works out. Skip said he would like to have a few more runs. He says, you know what, I don't mind winning the 1-run games. He said, but it would be nice every now and then to have a laugher. He says, I'm not opposed to that.
One ball, one strike to Sanchez, and a ground ball toward first. All by himself. Triolo makes the play. 7th inning stretch here in Pittsburgh. It's brought to you by Baptist Health. We'll be right back. From the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Baptist Health, the Inclinator here in Pittsburgh. Look at some of that ownership group enjoying a, that's right, a really fun night here at the ballpark.
They're ready to party.
Could be a special one for the Marlins. They want more runs and they want more out of the bullpen. Matt Moore comes in. His 50th game of the season. 2.61 ERA. When you throw it all together, the Marlins, of course, his 3rd club this year. And this will be his 4th game in that Marlins uniform.
He's had a nice year. Really nice year. Only 15 base on balls for Moore this year, and that's key. When you pitch late in games, you don't want to give away free passes, and Moore's been really good at not giving away free passes this season.
He'll face Reynolds, Hayes, and Sawinski. Two-run lead for the Marlins. A win, and they are in. The Cubs have an 8-6 lead in the 4th inning, heading to the 5th inning in Milwaukee. And the Reds on the board in St. Louis. So again, the Marlins win and they're in. Doesn't matter whatever else happens. Win and they're in. If the Marlins do not win, there is another way in tonight. But the Cubs and Reds would both need to lose. Marlins would much rather just do it themselves. There's your wild card standings. Diamondbacks, even with the Marlins in the loss column. Again, we'll worry about seeding at a later date. They're just underway in Arizona, taking on the Astros. That game top of the 3rd inning.
Verlander going for the Astros today.
The Astros fighting for their playoff lives as well. Inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Reynolds. And by the way, on the subject of if the Marlins don't win, then the other options, I don't like, this one didn't miss by much. I don't like when people say you backed into the playoffs. I really don't like that, and I'll explain why. This one in foul territory and out of play. It's game 161 or 155 or 162 when a team clinches. It just because they don't win that day to get in does not mean that they backed into the playoffs.
Oh no, they're not backing in by any stretch of the imagination. This team was 14 games over 500 at one point in time coming out of the break, and I think we dipped 1 game under 500 at one point in time, only to regroup and come back and do this.
Yeah,
it's amazing. It's amazing. And you're doing it without 5 starters.
Right.
And they really haven't had 5 starters since the second half began. Didn't we start the second game out of the break with an opener?
I believe it was the 3rd. I believe it was Sunday. I think it was Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. So the 3rd game out of the break. But the point is still the same, and you're absolutely right. They have been very creative with that rotation, with that entire pitching staff for this whole second half.
I mean, this thing really could have got away from them after the All-Star break, and it did for a moment, but they were able to regroup and get it back on track.
Yeah, they weathered the storm of the August schedule. The September schedule was not a lot of fun either. Called strike 3 on the corner. Reynolds has not liked the strike zone all weekend.
Yeah, you're right, all weekend.
He didn't like it last night either.
All weekend.
Chad Fairchild trying to quiet that Pirates bench right now.
Talking to Derek Shelton, their manager. He's the one with the beard.
Okay, Brian Hayes takes a strike.
Derek Shelton, a former hitting coach in 2 different stops in Cleveland and also in Tampa. Usually lifetime coaches don't get managerial positions.
Popped up back behind first. 3 Marlins over there. It's going to drop in between all of them.
Looked like Bell had a beat on it, and it almost like Bell peeled off at the last moment, like somebody called him off. Judging by his actions, I don't know. But take a look at Bell. Last moment, he just peels off. Like somebody called it. Oh, my goodness.
I'm not sure if it was a Marlin that did. Again, I'm not going to accuse anyone necessarily, but that's tough. Right into the corner, and Hayes will head to second base with a double.
Yeah, he gave him an extra out, extra pitch. And that's an 0-2 pitch, too. It's a second double that Ke'Bryan Hayes has hit the opposite way. His 31st.
Doubled and scored his last time up. So close to the stands, you wonder if someone yelled something. But anyway,
could have. It's not unheard of, for sure.
Well, Sawinski now. Single back in the first. 1 for 3 tonight. Moore delivers, and that is backhanded by Hampson. Low throw, and they get the out at first base. Well, that's a big out because it also keeps Hayes at second because it was hit in front of him or to his right. Best coverage of the game, T-Mobile coverage, Cam.
And a good base running by Ke'Bryan Hayes. Anything hit to your right when you're on second base, you can't advance because they will throw you out at third base. So he did the right thing. A nice pick by Bill, helping out Hampson. Those soft hands over at first base.
Henry Davis takes a strike. He had a base hit back in the third. Both teams with 10 hits tonight. Marlins, though, a 4-2 lead.
And both teams with 8 lobs, too. Those are left on base. Last night it was Robertson beefing with tonight's third base umpire Charlie Ramos. I don't know what's going on here, but they're smiling out there.
Well, he was pointing at his spikes. I wonder if maybe there's just a little chunky clay or something in his spikes or something, and he was asking for a little bit more time to get it out. Bad footing. This was after the pitch.
Yeah, might have thought he was scuffing the ball.
He's asking for time, and then Stallings is saying, hang on a second, he's got some dirt in his spikes, which is a baseball term, by the way, for a lot of time in the game, which Matt Moore also has.
Yep. Been around. So is that man, Mr. Schumacher. He's got that serious look on his face, doesn't he?
There's the dirt in his spikes.
They used to have the tongue
depressors, yeah,
behind the pitching mound. At any time the pitcher would get a little bit of dirt or clay in the cleats, they'd have that tongue depressor. They just knock it out.
They all have that that mat with the teeth, and the pitchers always go back there.
New school.
1-2 is inside, and that got Davis. Marlins looking at the video to see if there was either A, a swing, or B, a hit by pitch. They won't challenge anything. So 2 on and 2 out. Or if it got the barrel, that they not going to challenge. That would be the other thing in that first quick glance. top wrist.
Well, this is the last guy they wanted to see coming to the ditch today. Andy Rodriguez, he's been on fire today.
And been pain in the neck. Couple of hits last night. 3 singles, a run scored, an RBI tonight, but he bounces this one to third. Berger over to first to get the out. Through 7, 4-2 our score here in Pittsburgh. Gentlemen, you didn't think it was going to be easy, did you? 4-2 in the 8th. You didn't think it was going to be easy, did you? No, it's. Craigers, real quick, you've seen a lot of Marlins baseball over the years. I'm sure you've been waiting for moments like these. But what makes this club a little different than maybe others in the past? Well, we'll see how it all shakes out, gentlemen. We appreciate it. Hopefully, we will all be in touch in a little bit when this one goes final. Craig and Nelly coming up on the post-game show. Thank you. As John Birdie gets a base hit. And Andrew Nardi starts to throw in the Marlins bullpen. So 6 outs for the Marlins to get with a 2-run lead. And boy, oh boy, would they love to add to that lead as well.
Now, they might just be able to add to it.
Veteran leadership there. Joey Wendell. A couple of injured pitchers who've meant a lot to this club this year or in years past. Trevor Rogers and Matt Barnes. You break camp with 26. You have 40 men on the roster. You use way more than your 5 starters. Way more than 9 position players. It has been a total team effort for this club this year. Trying to get to the postseason in a full season for the first time since 2003. Of course, they got to the postseason, one of those wild cards back in 2020. Warner was on the move on the ground ball to third, potentially staying out of a double play and moving another insurance run into second base as Hampson grounds out 5-3. Stallings with Birdie at second. And Birdie at third after the stolen base.
Good heads up base running there by John Birdie.
And wait a second, some clarification here.
They're sending them back.
Was there a interference call or something? They sent Birdie back. Stallings was arguing. And Skip looking for some clarification from the home plate umpire and crew chief Chad Fairchild.
We all are.
wonder if Stallings made contact inadvertently, of course, with the catcher. Or what, didn't make an effort to get out of the way, maybe? But he didn't even have the baseball.
Oh, no. I don't know.
It's a strange one.
It was strange.
Fly ball out towards center. Bay makes the catch, and there are 2 away. Yeah, I guess you make a little bit more of a case for that if he threw it and bumped into Stallings or threw it into Stallings, but he never really had a great grip on the baseball.
Yeah, and Stallings in the batter's box is probably saying to himself, I mean, this happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
And this never gets called.
Right.
I mean, what's the deal? Because I remember vividly several times Stallings tries to get that call, and he's never able to get it.
Well, they'll intentionally walk Soler, set up a force at any base with 2 outs.
And pitching coach also going to have a conversation with Hernandez.
Now brings up Josh Bell, who had a sac fly back in the 6th inning. Played a lot of games in this ballpark. .250 average, but 39 home runs, 160 RBIs. His 53rd double last night drove in a couple of runs. And Rod, you mentioned it before, executive of the year. We just showed Bell, Berger, Hampson. Those are big ads for this club.
No doubt about that.
Guys have come up in big spots up and down this Marlins lineup.
Acquired Edwards from Toronto early in the year, Tampa, excuse me, with Chagua. Everybody's contributing too. She really revamped the entire roster.
And maybe the trade of all trades. Both teams upset to part with one, but thrilled to get the other.
Yep.
Luis Arraez on pace to win a batting title again.
Yeah, that trade worked out for both teams, and that's usually the good one. Those are the good trades.
Pablo Lopez figuring to get game 1 of the wild card series for the Minnesota Twins. A great season for him as they check on Birdie at second base. And last night, we haven't seen Arraez for about a week or so. Coming off the bench, hobbling and looking at the dugout. How much energy did that provide?
He only needs one leg.
Inside to Bell. He's been looked at as a leader really from day one. Always a smile on his face, a positive attitude, production at the plate, Gold Glove caliber defense at second, and a warrior mentality. It's taken a lot to keep him out of the lineup. And by the way, moving a heck of a lot better today, was taking ground balls. Skip Schumacher said before the game when asked about his availability, he is available. If we need him, we'll see him. But that he needed to see him take ground balls and move better. And today, probably the best we've seen in a week.
If we win this game today, we will not see him until Tuesday. And if for whatever reason we don't win and we have to play tomorrow and it means something, he probably will start. Skip Schumacher said he just wants to get him out of the dugout. There are guys like that, man. And when they're not playing, they just don't know what to do because he's played every day. You know, he just don't know what to do. Jimmy Lee used to say that about Miguel Cabrera. And every time he gave Mickey a day off, Mickey would just, he would pester him. And then Mickey would sit next to Jim and he would try to manage the game. Leland said many times he was right when he told me to do something too.
That one kicks away and both runners will move up. Rodriguez directed it up the third base line, but it kept rolling away from him. Good reads by Birdie and Soler behind him.
If I was Derek Shelton, the manager of the Pirates, I would consider a walking Bell here. 3-1 count. He's going to get a good pitch to hit. And then I'd go after Berger, but he's not going to do that.
3-1 from Hernandez. And this one is out toward left center field, and it's going off the wall. 2 runs will score. Josh Bell opens it up in the 8th inning.
Little Michael Jackson off the wall there for Josh Bell. He and Berger, man, they have been worth the price of admission this year. A 3-1 count. They had an open base for him. They elected not to take that opportunity, and Bell made them pay. Big. This 2 nights in a row he's gotten the biggest hit.
8th inning doubles to drive in 2. An encore for Josh Bell. A 6-2 lead for the Marlins here in the 8th inning. Now Berger fouls that one away, and we go back to the double.
Outstanding swing. He's got that little leg kick where he goes back and then he just explodes through the strike zone. Birdie comes home to score. Soler standing up. Cabrera loves it. They all love it.
Pop back behind home plate. Skip loves it. A 4-run lead for the Marlins here in the top of the 8th inning. A win gets them into the postseason. To short. Throw to first in time. What a play by Peguero to keep the ball on the infield. But Bell drives it. Baseball on Valley Sports is brought to you by Estrella Insurance. Why pay more for car insurance? Call today. And by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. Nice night for the Marlins so far. They've got a 6-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. They know one thing is for certain: win and you're in the postseason. Andrew Nardi takes over out of that Marlins bullpen. His 62nd game this season and the 7th Marlins pitcher.
Andrew Nardi's had an outstanding year. And pitching in his 62nd game, 8 wins, 1 loss, and a ERA just a shade over 2.5.
We'll get the bottom of the Pirates order. Peguero, then Bay and Gonzalez. That one fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 huge runs for the Marlins in the top of the 8th inning on a 2 RBI double from Josh Bell. That's the one defensive change for the Marlins, by the way. Skip Schumacher came out of the dugout. Wasn't sure if he was challenging something or not, or asking for clarification on something, but he was actually just trying to make sure Josh Bell knew he was coming out. So Yuli Gurriel, the new first baseman for the Marlins. And a foul ball. The net got Chad Fairchild.
Sounded like it hurt.
Stallings quick to help him stay up, but looks like Fairchild's okay. Right off the shoulder. Two balls, 2 strikes. Already one of the guys that has made huge strides for this club in 2023. He's been great in 62 games. And he's been great based on that pitch. Peguero went around, 1 away here in the 8th.
Skip Schumacher talked about Andrew Nardi and watching him in spring training. He really, wasn't on their radar, to be honest with you. But he said he watched him throw his bullpens in spring training, and he said, wow, we might be on to something here. And when a manager starts to show that kind of confidence in you, and he's put Nardi in just about every situation imaginable this season, he's been tremendous in inheriting runners. I mean, that's kind of where Skip Schumacher, every time there was runners on base, it was Nardi that was trotting out of that bullpen. And so many times he would strand those runners. He's had a major, major part in why we're here today.
One ball and one strike here to Connor Joe. Pinch hitting for Ji-Hwan Bae. One ball and one strike. And a chopper toward third. That's Berger. 2 away here in the 8th inning. We'll check in with Jessica Blaylock.
Hey, Paul, there are a lot of reasons why this Marlins team is special, but one thing that I love most is how much they love each other. Before the start of the ball game, I saw Steven Okert and Brian De La Cruz giving each other a hug, position players supporting pitchers. Then during the game, Yuri Perez is using an empty bubblegum container as a drum. You've got Sandy and Luis Arraez cheering the team on. And then after Josh Bell hits that double in the 8th, he comes into the dugout. Everybody gets around him and starts chanting, JB, JB, JB. They are so excited. They are pulling for one another. You see Sandy Alcantara smiling. They can feel it. They know how special this group is.
JB could be for Jessica Blaylock.
Or John Birdie, or Jake Berger. There's a lot of JBs running around.
Just run with the first one, Jessica Blaylock.
It was. You're right, Rod. It was for me. I appreciate that. Thank you.
0-2 on Gonzalez. Well, Jessica nailed it. This has been a special group, and it's been from the top down all summer long. A lot of opportunities to say, well, that's where the other shoe is going to drop. There have been some really tough losses this year. Every team goes through it. But how do you bounce back from them? And oftentimes the Marlins have actually followed a terrible loss with a great win a day or two later.
That man right there, he has stayed even keel all season long. Didn't get too high on the wins, didn't go too low with the losses, even though some of the losses were demoralizing.
And gives so much credit to the staff around him.
That man right there standing next to him broke his leg earlier this year, and he was still working.
That's right.
Jody Reed.
Jody Reed. Third base coach for the Marlins, working with this infield group. Stoudemire Jr., Wellington, Cepeda, the pitching side of things. Cepeda out there in the bullpen. The hitting group has been wonderful. A new hitting group led by Brant Brown, John Mabry.
John Mabry like the father figure down there. He don't say a whole lot, but when he does, they listen.
Absolutely. That's a base hit. Triolo at it again into right field. It'll be first and third here for the Pirates with 2 outs. They're not going quietly. Brian Reynolds. Stallings out to talk with him. The entire infield comes in. Right about now is where those 2 runs in the top of the 8th inning loom large. Leaving nothing for chance. The closer Tanner Scott begins to throw in the Marlins bullpen.
Don't think for one moment Skip will not bring him into this game. He sent Stallings out first to start talking to Nardi, and now Mel Stoudemire has taken his time to go out there, and he must have told a joke when he got there because Nardi just started laughing. Sometimes that's what they do. They just go out there. They don't really say much. They'll tell a joke just to keep guys loose.
And that's when this team plays its best, too, when everybody is loose. Brian Reynolds, 0 for 4 today. 0 for 8 so far in the series. First and third, 2 outs in the 8th inning. 6-2 Marlins lead. A win gets them to the postseason. Strike one on the slider. Did not go. Did go. Sorry. 0-2.
Mel must have went out there and told Nardi, you better stop messing around because he's going to bring Tanner in.
Might have been it.
They got a chuckle out of him.
Lays off the slider. A ball and 2 strikes.
They've done a nice job with Reynolds in the series for the most part. They need to continue it, though. He came in with some really good numbers.
Came in with a 27-game on base streak.
24 homers. 80 ribbies. They say he profiles as a guy to hit about 280 every year and driving 100 runs in the middle of the batting order.
He's going to drive one in right here. Base hit to right field. On base in 28 in a row, and now a 3-run ball game here, bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, what's Skip thinking? You know it's on his mind. He's ready. He's gonna go get him.
Scott looks like he's ready, and here comes Skip.
He ain't messing around.
Well, this is the last bullet in the chamber right here when you talk about your high leverage guys. Going to the closer in the bottom of the 8th inning with a 3-run lead, and one of the biggest spots of the season here for the Marlins. Needing a win to get to the postseason, and the tying run at the plate.
And their best hitter coming to the dish.
The objective is simple. Marlins win, and they are in. Even with the Diamondbacks in the loss column for the wild card. But they just know they can win and get in. There are other avenues in. Cubs and Reds both have to lose today. But right now the game is in front of them. The game is in the left hand of Tanner Scott. His 74th game this season. 2 on, 2 out, 3-run game. And Brian Hayes at the plate. That's ball 1.
And most managers do not like going to their closer in the 8th inning to get 4 outs for them. But what's at stake here? And Skip Schumacher has no problem in going to get Tanner Scott. It's not the first time he's done this with Tanner this season.
2 balls, no strikes.
Brian Hayes has already doubled twice today. And since coming off the injured list on August 8th, he's pretty much been their best hitter.
Scott the 2-0. And a little bit high. 3 balls, no strikes.
Don't lay this one over the heart of the plate. And Brian Hayes might be one of those guys that has the green light. Might be swinging.
A strike on the edge. The runners belong to Nardi, but so often the next guy has picked up the last. Again, some room on that outside part of the plate. 3-2. 32 saves for Nardi in his career. Twice it's been 4 outs or more, or for Scott rather, and 4 outs or more. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runners on the move, and we'll do it again. Again, a payoff pitch. Do it one more time.
His slider's nasty. He's got a 100-mile-per-hour fastball, too. But when he throws that slider, it comes out of his hand just like the fastball. And you really cannot differentiate the two. He can really go either way here. He can go high upstairs with 100 miles an hour, or he can bury another one of those sliders. It's going to be one of the two.
3-2 pitch. Ground ball. Berger's got it to first. And we head to the 9th inning. Marlins have a 6-3 lead. A run comes home, but they're still in front. 1 inning to go. Welcome back. 6-3 the score. Marlins on the doorstep of a postseason berth. A win, and they get one of those wild card spots. Able to avoid major trouble in that inning. 1 run did score. Bring up Jazz Chisholm Jr. to start things here in the 9th inning.
Jazz has had a nice day. He singled his first time up and drove in a run. His second time up, a majestic home run. Look at the launch angle, 42 degrees. That's max height of 160 feet. Fourth highest home run in PNC Park history.
We don't often zoom out that much just to get that arc in the shot. Love that. Saw the Respect Miami shirt. I think that was from the last postseason berth in 2020.
It was.
Jazz, De La Cruz, and Sanchez. Marlins by 3. They'd love a few more. Second time in the series we've seen Cody Bolton.
They got a pretty nice crowd here tonight, too, on Saturday night. Looks like they got about 20,000 people in attendance.
They'll have some post-game fireworks tonight. Marlins hoping for a post-game shindig. This one out toward right center field, and it's going to get to the wall. Jazz at it again. A leadoff double. Looking to add to that 3-run cushion.
Look at you. I see you swimming, Jazz. I thought he was going to go 3 here. There's something down in the strike zone, off-speed pitch. He stayed with it long enough, and by the time he made contact with it, it was just one hand. But that gives you an idea of just how strong Jazz is and how hard he hits the ball. That ball got all the way to the gate, even though he basically swung the bat with one arm.
His 13th double.
Marlins trying to get that run right back.
De La Cruz 0 for 4 today. Fouls it away. Upper deck right side.
And De La Cruz still trying to play the game the right way. And runner on second base, nobody out. You got a job to do. And that's either drive him in or get him over to third base. And you could tell visibly by that first swing, that's exactly what De La Cruz is trying to do.
Way outside. Rodriguez able to corral it.
It's a sweeper. It's Nelly's favorite pitch. You ever heard him talk about sliders and the sweepers?
Oh, yeah. I try not to get him started.
Oh, yes. No, you don't. You get him started.
Yeah, well, every once in a while.
Yeah, you get him going.
Sometimes it's a rabbit hole. That is a base hit right center field. Jazz coming around third as it dies in right field. He'll score easily. De La Cruz with a base hit, and the Marlins get that run right back.
When you play the game the right way, when you give to the game gives back to you. Tremendous at bat by De La Cruz. Unselfish at bat, and that dugout is a happy dugout. Runner on second, nobody out. De La Cruz hits one the other way. He about undresses the second baseman Rodriguez, who's made some nice plays today. Gonzalez, excuse me.
Wave and a miss there by Sanchez. That run gets the spread back to 4 here for the Marlins.
What you got on Yuli's hair?
It's better than mine.
He's got that unique style. Woody Woodpecker.
De La Cruz at first. 0-1 on Sanchez. Now 0-2. Inside the Marlins clubhouse, starting to make all the preparations. Ball to Sanchez. One, two. A bouncing ball right side. That's 1. And that's 2. They say De La Cruz was out of the baseline anyway, whether he got tagged or not. So a double play.
That's a nice play by Gonzalez. A lot of times base running coaches will tell you that when that second baseman comes in and he tries to tag you like this, you simply can run him over. If he's in the baseline and he's already fielded the ball, you can run him over, or you can run through him and then make it difficult for him to complete the double play. No need for that here in this game, but it's been done before.
Yeah, just ask Albert Bell and Fernando Vina.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but you just don't want to let him tag you. I mean, and if he runs you back, he's going to get that out anyway, because he'll throw it to first and he'll throw it back to second to get you out.
1-0 to John Birdie. Lifts a fly ball out to right field. Connor Joe makes the catch. Bottom of the 9th inning coming up. Marlins need a win to get to the postseason. They've got a 4-run lead to work with. We'll be back. Welcome back. Bottom of the 9th inning. Marlins a 7-3 lead. A win and they're in. 3 outs away. Bruce Sherman headed down to the Marlins clubhouse, one would imagine.
You better get some goggles.
Enjoy the burn.
All right.
We will have post-game coverage, by the way, should the Marlins finish this one off and clinch. Jessica Blaylock down on the field, herding cats down there, as she will interview as many Marlins folks as she can. We'll have clubhouse coverage as well. Craig Minervini, Jeff Nelson will have you covered in the studio. We will try our best to talk to as many folks as possible. And the celebratory liquids are heading into the clubhouse as we speak. There's a strike from Tanner Scott, who got a big out of Ke'Bryan Hayes in the 8th inning, taking over for Andrew Nardi. Marlins home clubhouse staff, Dom and Jeremy, John Eric Alvarez, the leader of the PR group, the party planning committee tonight, at least. That one sneaks away from Stallings, but Andujar gave himself up, so that's a strikeout. Andujar pinch hitting in that spot for Zawinski, and there is 1 out here in the 9th inning. As stoic now as he was on day 1 in Jupiter.
He hasn't moved from that spot all night long, other than to go out and make a pitching change. He's been in that same spot all night, maybe the last 2 nights.
Henry Davis. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Tanner ain't messing around. And doing exactly as he has done all season long. He's always had a $1 million arm. And now he's throwing strikes and nothing but strikes.
And that is another strikeout. 2 away here in the 9th inning.
Been waiting for this guy all year long. That's this 27th out right here.
Marlins 1 out away from heading to the postseason.
Saw Soler in the dugout starting to do a little dance down there. He knows what this feels like.
Andy Rodriguez takes the ball down.
Everybody on the top step. Every last one of them. Take a look at that dugout.
Two and 0 to Rodriguez. Fouled away right side.
100-mile-per-hour fastball out of the hand of Tanner Scott.
Two and 1 outside. And the Marlins are a strike away. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A win to get to the postseason. For only the 4th time in franchise history. 97, 03, 2020.
May as well finish him off with that slider.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. It's a Marlins playoff clinching win and a postseason party in Pittsburgh. Tanner Scott strikes out the side in the 9th inning. And the Marlins are going back to the postseason.
What an exclamation point Tanner Scott put on this game. Wow. Amazing. Simply amazing. For many of them, it's the first time.
This team has been through so many ups and downs, an emotional roller coaster for this club. And Skip Schumaker, in his first year as a manager, not just with the Marlins. He didn't have 10 years somewhere else.
Now. You can smile now.
In his first year at the helm, the Marlins are headed to October. What a wild ride this has all been. And it took everybody on that field. It took so many more players. It took the support staff, the front office. This is a win for the organization right here, and a huge congratulations. So many exciting, exhilarating wins, a few tough losses, but a long season of ups and downs all leads to a chance to dance.
October. That is so beautiful. So special. A lot of hard work, man, and it goes all the way back to January for so many of them. All the hard work, all the hours.
All the sacrifice.
Preparation.
All the time away from family. It should not go unnoticed that Skip's family is 3,000 miles away in California. And I'm sure they made visits and met him on the road. But he, like many, have family scattered around the country. We all have family that sacrifices so that we can cover this ball club. Congratulations to Kim Ang and her staff.
So special. They did it.
They did it.
They did it. Mr. Sherman.
They did it with and without their ace at times.
His first press conference of the year in spring training, he said, we're going to the playoffs. I remember.
Let's go down to Jessica Blaylock down to the field.
Skip, walking around giving every single one of your players hugs, every single one of the members of your coaching staff hugs. How would you describe the emotions you're feeling right now?
That's what it's all about. I mean, look at the smiles, all the hard work, the staff, front office, clubhouse staff, on-field staff. I mean, look at this. This is what it's all about. This is what it is in September, what it's supposed to look like. I'm just so proud of these guys. It's awesome.
All season long, you have had players step up left and right. What specifically did you say to Tanner Scott, who you called upon tonight to get the last 4 outs of this ball game?
There's a few cuss words in the middle of it. Where would we be without Tanner Scott? I mean, he has stepped up and provided 4 out saves a lot this year. I mean, look at that group. I can't stop. I'm just like a proud dad, you know, just looking at all these kids. Just they grew up from spring training to now, and I'm just so proud that they get to enjoy this.
Even this game tonight, you look at it, a sac fly, a sac bunt. Oh, he's got to give the hug to Bruce Sherman. Even this game tonight, a sac fly, a sac bunt, Birdie hustling to steal home, an extra base hit from Jazz from Josh Bell. How indicative was this win of the spirit that this team has embodied all season?
You're supposed to do what the game tells you to do to win the game that day. And I tell you what, Jazz, superstars sometimes take over games as well. Jazz took over the game today, provided unbelievable offense. We played small ball. Bell with the huge hit. Talk about the trade deadline. Like all those guys that provided something tonight. Kim, unbelievable job, and that's the reason why we're here.
Congratulations, Skip. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of been him, right? So humble that the first thing he says is giving credit to everyone on the staff, everyone around him. He has done that countless times throughout this summer that he has, you know, said it's all those around me that have helped me up, that have lifted me up. And what a run it's been for guys like John Birdie, who have been here for longer than just about anybody else. Certainly a special group. Florida Lottery in-game jackpot, playoff berths in 161, the clinch date here for the Marlins. And now that group photo before the party in the clubhouse really gets crazy. There's Jazz. Can't take a picture without him.
You can't. He almost missed the photo. And Bruce Sherman sitting right in the middle of it, too. That's beautiful. Those are all the contributions of everybody down there. Clubhouse people, front office, you name it. Take the village.
Yeah, we don't go anywhere, folks. You waited this long. You waited till game 161 after all, and you've waited a long time for this. Marlins in the postseason for the first time since 2003 when it comes to a full season. 2020, of course, in that shortened year. Don't go anywhere. We will have complete coverage. Jessica Blaylock down in the clubhouse. I'm going to run down there, too. We will get as much sound as humanly possible down there tonight. And do we have Kim downstairs? Is she heading to party? We're all headed inside. Okay, great. There you have it. We'll step aside. Don't go anywhere. Marlins postseason, post-game coverage coming up next.